Today I want to go back to that verse I was looking at in Psalm 105 verse 4, and I want to take a look at the second part of the verse. Search for the Lord and his strength. Continually seek his face. I want to take a look at that concept of searching for the Lord and his strength. That's the part I want to focus on today. There was a season in my life when I was praying, and all of a sudden a phrase came out of my mouth as I was praying that I took note of. I knew it had to be inspired by the Holy Spirit. The phrase was, "I draw from your strength." And as soon as I said it, I went, there's something to that. And I knew there was something deep inside sort of bubbling up within me. I draw from your strength. And every day I was just kind of meditating on that, praying about that. I draw from your strength. And then one day I ran into this Psalm 116 verse 7. And the psalmist writes, "Return, O my soul, to your rest, for the Lord has dealt bountifully with you." The psalmist is driving at this idea that the Lord has plenty, the Lord has abundance, the Lord's resources never run dry. And if we can learn how to draw from his strength, if we learn how to tap his infinite abundant resources, we can live at peace. We can live at rest. We can live without hitting a wall. In the midst of this season, while I'm meditating on this and I'm meditating on that phrase, "I draw from your strength," I hit a wall at a soul care conference. I was teaching at a conference, and Saturday came Deliverance Day, and I hit a wall. That happens sometimes. It's just like, I know I've spent all of my inner resources. I'm tired, I'm weary, I'm done. And I know I don't have anything left in the tank. And so that happens. That's not uncommon. You know, I come home, I had a day alone with the Lord, and I figured I'd replenish. I had 3 more soul care conferences to do in the next 3 weekends. But when I got home and I spent a day alone with the Lord, I didn't get through the wall. I could still feel this inner emptiness. It's like an emotional reserve is no longer there, and now my soul is like vibrating. It's just not quite right. And I said to Jen before I took off for the next soul care conference, I said, I'm in trouble. I said, I've already hit a wall. I spent a day alone with God. It didn't replenish me, and now I'm in trouble. And she said, what are you going to do? I said, I'll do my best, and I'm going to ask the Lord for help. And I said, I'm going to try to tap a reserve I've never found. When I went to this next soul care conference, I saw the host, the pastor, and I said to him, listen, I said, I've hit a little bit of a wall. During this week, I'm not going to interact with people during breaks. At breaks, I need to go to a room where I could sit all by myself, and I just need to sit in silence and stillness before the Lord. I need to draw from his strength. And I'd literally meditate on this psalm that I just read, Psalm 116, verse 7, "Return, O my soul, to your rest, for the Lord has dealt bountifully with you." There's plenty in the Lord if I could figure out how to tap his strength. So literally every break, I got alone with the Lord. I sat in silence. I'd meditate on that verse, and I would pray this phrase, "I draw from your strength. I draw from your strength." And I just focus on the presence of Jesus. Literally, as a soul care conference went on, instead of feeling like that wall was getting worse, the reserves were even getting emptier, I felt a continual inflow of the Spirit's presence and power, and I was on the rise throughout the weekend instead of on the decline throughout the weekend. I was gaining energy, not losing energy. And the next 3 weekends went beautifully, and I never hit a wall again. A.B. Simpson, the founder of the Christian Missionary Alliance, used to talk about this concept that there's plenty in the Lord that we can draw from his resources. He applied it to physical healing. He talked about the Lord for the body, and there was always enough physical healing power in Jesus that we could draw strength for all our days. I think there's enough energy, there's enough power, there's enough of the replenishing, restorative presence of Christ available to us that we can draw from his strength in these days when we're at our weakest points.